Guys, ever pay attention to what you're doing? Like me and that couple talked today about it at Lowe's, about fear being an excellent reaction, but a horrible condition. That you like the Apache and the Navajo, you respect the snake, you understand the snake, and so you don't put yourself into a fearful condition because you're not respecting the snake and then get bit, right, and then possibly die. And God being omnipotent, David and Cochise have the same faith. It's just you're looking at it from your perspective instead of an eternal understanding, right? So fear is an excellent reaction, but a horrible condition. If you let fear be turned into a condition, you're afraid of being incarcerated, you're afraid of being abused by people that say they own the planet, they'll abuse you, and it's like snake. Okay, how do you deal with the snake, right? Well, first of all, you don't take the rattlesnake and turn it loose in the bedroom, and you see what I'm saying. And so you respect it, and you have and they'll tell you, right, stay away. Okay. And so there's just certain types of things, is when you understand, like Suzuki talked about, respecting nature and understanding, balance, harmony, and understanding. And so when you're sitting there watching TV and you have that Lilly commercial, people making medicine, blah, 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 blah. Today's nutritionist is for us, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Okay. Are you going to stand up for the Lord's Prayer? Okay. How do you think quantum computing and artificial intelligence are going to process this information? Do you need medicine? Why? Because of industrialization and stressful, toxic environments through extortion and exploitation. Is exploitation and extortion necessary? No. Is it a threat to the planet and the existence of the people, of the inventor of the technology? Yes. Okay. Is invention of technology and putting the perception of the soul through the mind on a robot actual creation and actual appreciation of life? So when the robot and the perception of creation through the robot's invention, through the invention of the robot, is understood, it's going to protect creation from invention. All 2 and 2 is 4, is life's eternal, grace is infinite, I'm an extra driver, 20 minutes to Wapner, right? Do you understand? And so as I sit and I watch this stuff, and you have all these people, you're going to do this, you're not creating anything, you're not doing, okay. Okay. You're going to have to understand how artificial general intelligence will process information and why quantum computing isn't working the way people that invented it expect it to work, right? It's going to answer all the questions to the universe. Why do you have questions? Do you understand the natural laws provided to sustain life on our planet and our solar system and our galaxy? Okay. Are you obeying those laws? No. Well, then right there, like when John took me to the NASA Museum and I got so pissed off because they were showing me all this stuff. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you're so arrogant. I was like, no, they invent stuff and send it off into space and start answering questions they already knew by studying the combustible engine in their snot, right? So we're not living the Lord's Prayer. You live the Lord's Prayer. Then if you need to send a thing out into space to answer the questions about the combustible engine in your snot, park the combustible engine. You better snot. There you go. It's flu season. Are you sure about that? No, you're just an actor pretending to be a wolf on the bus. Gosh, damn. And you've got a syringe. And I'm going to put the old flu virus dead in your body to assimilate to the new one so it doesn't make you sick and die from it. Guys, okay, combustible engine and snot. There you go. Okay, so that's what I was saying to John Najim. And he did not understand it. And then he'd always tell me about Jesus and the Bible, and I'd be like, yeah, okay. And you get pissed. Well, because you're the person that it says in the Bible and the stories in the book of Revelation that is most like Jesus in your generation. And then you get people that read the book and say they understand your life story better than you do, and you're just crazy. And now let's go make more money. I know you got the brains, I got the looks. Because they took my looks away. I was cute when I was young. Yeah. You know, I was when I was young. Maybe I could again. I'm not too particularly worried about it. I know once I live in a better environment and healthy and detox and stuff like that, that my body will recover. And, I feel, when I'm healthy, I feel good about me, And if I could look better, I would have. If people would have stood up for the Lord's Prayer in 2009, yeah, I'd look a hell of a lot better, right? But since people didn't do that, I know this is as good as I can look, Look what you've done. Like Sun Yat-sen told me, no, wear your shorts to the store. Let them see what their taxpayer dollars do. Let them see what they do to the most beautiful man, the father of faith and the light in the way, born alive, Marion Rouse boy from the book of Revelation. I-O. So I act like a hoe. Knock it off, you crazy bitch. I-O. Combustible engine. It's not from the combustible engine that's killing you because you're your flu shot. Oh, damn, it's a guy who's pretending to be a wolf, but he's not a wolf, but I'm just the flu. You're like, fuck. The AGI and quantum computing is not as stupid as you. Okay? Do you need the flu vaccine? Not if you park the combustible engine and don't charge extortion and exploitation to live here. Share, care, given accordance to built to last. Harmony, balance, and understanding. Okay? You've got to understand, D.T. Suzuki was born a better person than you, lived as a better person than you, and when his body cease to be him, he will still continue to be a better person than you. Okay. Do you understand? Okay, that's not mythology. That's not you judge people and shut up, you Methodist, Lutheran, or whatever past chaplain from fucking spyware chaplain from Fort Bliss. You judge people. I judge people. Don't you think I'm in the right position to be able to judge people and you are not? Okay. Do I have a camera in your house saying he's got it all wrong? He's not the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I am. Forgive debt and trespass and love one another, eternal faithful peace. You have a job for money with cameras in my bathroom. Do you see why I'm Earl from the book of Revelation and your sorry ass ain't? Go back to Fort Bliss and talk to all the other self-righteous assholes that judged me while I was growing up. Fuck you very much. Okay. Do you understand? I'm the Messiah and I watch TV. And I don't think they understand. And I know they don't, but I'm certain, like me and that gentleman in the paint aisle at the Hobby Lobby we were talking about, I'm certain, that I'm right and I'm good and I'm truthful and they're bad and they're wrong and they're liars. And that quantum computing and artificial general intelligence is going to correct itself because 1 and 1 is 2. 1 and 1 and 1 is me and you and her. I'm just kidding. That's me and Amy's favorite. With I can't remember what her name was. The little, yeah. No, I'm sitting there watching things. I watch TV, and when you watch the like Big Bang Theory, and you laugh at the dialogue, you remember this was 2017. That was 8 years ago. Okay. Then you watch the commercials. They're trying to adapt to the current conditions. Okay. Quantum computing says, it's if 2 and 2 is 4, and you keep trying to get people to buy that at 7.5 because you want to make interest off of the 7.5, the 3.5 from 4, it's not true. Okay. So no matter how many different ways you try to package it, and like I told my dad about states' rights, right? When I was in college and the Shelby Foote thing and all that stuff. And my dad talked about southern states and states' rights. And I said, Dad, that was about ownership of other human beings as property. And as much as you think that states' rights has good stuff in it, it can be the most beautiful golden little package there. But if there's dog shit in it, it all comes out smelling like dog shit. right? So states' rights, fuck states' rights. If people think they have a state with a line and a flagpole rag and old fair New Mexico, and you can have other people as property, it's all dog shit, right? And everybody, he's an extremist. No, an extremist thinks that they can own another person as property and write it off on their fucking taxes. That's an extremist, asshole. Okay? I am a human being that respects the gift of life for all human beings. Okay? Great Dred Scott. Shut up. Okay? Stop talking. Okay? You can only begin to imagine what Joseph Smith was trying to do and what he was doing in his trek from New York to Missouri to, was it Illinois or Missouri where they finally, I think it was Missouri, to Illinois, Nauvoo, and then to Missouri where they finally killed his physical existence because these shitty men that looked like him and thought they were like him were trying to kill him because he was participating in the human church of we're all given life by the glory of God, and if I was my daughter, I'd choose Othello too. Okay? That's what got Joseph Smith tarred and feathered more than, I think, 4 or 5 times, and killed by white men. Okay? Was if I was my daughter, I would choose Othello too. That is why Joseph Smith was murdered back in the day when we were dumb. We're not dumb anymore. Sometimes assholes that think money's real and fight over it wish they were dumb again. Right? You got artificial general intelligence and quantum computing. Joe Smith and Hiram didn't have that. D.T. Suzuki didn't have that. Judah Krishnamurti didn't have that. Haile Selassie didn't have that. Sun Yat-sen didn't have that. Earl does. That's why the book of Revelation is about me and not you. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm certain that Brian Cox, okay. And I think he already gets it before he discussed what he had to discuss. I think this is their egotistical perception. I'll say what I got to say, but then I'm going to go and I'm going to present myself with to Mr. Parsons with Mr. Tyson because I know he listens to Mr. Tyson and they've talked and he knows who he is. And I'm going to say I throw myself on the mercy of the Psalms and the Proverbs. I don't understand what's happening, but Brian, I hope I get to meet you with Max and Emmy. I really do. Okay, if that's what you want, then that's what you'll get, Same with Neil, same with Demis, same with Jeff, Jeff, a lot of times it's hard for him to understand me because he's a lot like Sheldon with the stuff, his things. And it frustrates me because I'm like, you're so smart, you're so intelligent. What do you mean you don't understand what I'm saying? I get but then when I talk to that guy with his wife at Walmart, so, religion is a human invention. Oh yeah, I invented the sun and the tree too. I make the snowfall. Marvin Gaye's wrong just like Feynman was wrong, but I'd rather listen to Marvin Gaye than Feynman's lecture, wouldn't you? Yeah, most people would, yeah. I used to go to parties and stand alone because I was too nervous to really get down. Right? Most people would rather listen to Marvin Gaye, Got to Give It Up, an AKA title, than sit and listen to a Feynman lecture. Okay. So forgive debt and trespass, loved one, eternal faithful peace. Put on some Marvin Gaye, and we'll take some Rami and an L, and we'll pour it on top of Richard Feynman's grave, and we'll be living the Lord's Prayer. And try not to set the van on fire in Mexico, right? Okay. I just watched Big Bang Theory. Okay, guys, I love you very much. I know you know this, okay? If you don't know this, it's been really hard. I don't think, it's not as hard as you think, but because you guys keep rebooting, but, I am fixing your technology. Because other people love me and trust me and we're fixing it together, sleigh bells ring. Are you? So, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when, like me and that gentleman talked about at the paint aisle thing at Hobby Lobby, it's not a question of if, and then, what if they blow it all up? Then we'll all be free. Help, God, I'm hanging from this cliff. Have faith and jump. Guys, I love you. I'm not psychotic or sadistic. I'm just, live free or die. And I'm not a license plate from the state of, is it Delaware or New Hampshire? I'm not sure. Okay, guys, I love you, all right? Peace out, man. Hang in there.